Welcome to Season 3 of John McGivern's Main Streets.
You've really never watched the show before, have you?
The Main Streets podcast takes you behind the scenes of this popular TV program. To watch the show, check your local PBS listings or stream for free on the PBS video app, Roku, Apple TV, smart TVs, and everywhere you stream video. As we explore great communities across the Midwest on the show each week, you can come here to get the inside scoop from hosts John and Emmy and the Main Streets producer and director Lois Maurer. Listen in as they recount some of their favorite memories from the locations and the interesting stories that you won't find anywhere else. We've got a lot to share with you from Season 3. John McGivern's Main Streets, produced by Plum Media in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
We're back, Season 3. It's John McGivern. I'm here with producer and director and creator and, what's your name again? Lois Maurer. And my co-host, Emmy Fink. How are you guys?
We're good.
We're back.
This is fun.
Are you excited?
Yes, I'm all in.
Season 3, Episode 1, Springfield, Illinois. Have you guys been there before?
I had been with my husband and my kids when they were just a little bit younger, and we just had such a great time. We loved it. I love history, and there's other things to do there. So when we talked about Illinois, where to go, I always had Springfield on my radar.
But Lois, you realize that we have to stay within 300 miles from my front door, which I think we were, weren't we?
Yeah, it had to be 299.5.
I know, because it was like we're still driving.
Yes, it was far.
It must be a family-friendly destination because my parents took us there as well.
Oh,
and I
when
think
you were
I was,
a kid?
Yes, and I was
Really?
like 12 or 13, and I did not appreciate it nearly as much back then as I did when we visited. So it was
Well, now
nice.
that we've given you an assignment to be the historian.
Right. I really am taking this seriously.
Yeah. Favorite part? Anything? What was your favorite?
Oh, well, my favorite probably was the Capitol. I mean, what a beautiful building the Illinois State Capitol is.
And I love the way we approached the Capitol because we didn't do a story that I think most travel shows would do, because what we centered on was the woman who is in charge, and she works for the Department of the Interior, or she works for, who does she work for?
Yeah, I think you're
right. I think
right.
that's who she works for. And she makes sure that the flag that flies on top of that dome, which is in fact the highest, the tallest dome of all the state capitals in the United States, the flag that flies on that flagpole, she makes sure that it's flying well, that it's in good shape, that it's up there. She puts it up, takes it down. And I thought, okay, we're going to talk to this woman. And I thought, oh, she's going to be like, yeah, I do the flag. But can I tell you, her story around her commitment to doing this flag, and how when they have to fly it at half-mast, she almost started crying, which I was like, this is a great interview. This woman was really smart to talk to her. And,
well, what was interesting is I think people look at that flag on the top of the dome and feel somebody probably presses a button, right?
Right.
They crawl up there.
And
I mean crawl up stairways that we couldn't go with them because they were like, oh, no. And I wanted to, of course, but it's terrifying.
Well, and of course, Lois was like, well, you're going to go up there.
To you?
No, not to me.
Oh.
To the woman.
Okay.
And so she had to go up the spiral out in the element. You saw her, and they had a drone flying, and Lois was like, tell her to wave! And she's like waving. It was like,
She does that job. I wasn't asking for any special treatment.
She was probably so proud.
Lois was like, tell her to do it again.
Take two.
That wasn't my favorite, though.
That wasn't your favorite?
No.
What was?
My favorite was the horseshoe sandwich.
Tell us about this, because I've never heard.
It was.
Tell me it has horseradish on it.
Oh no, there's absolutely no
a different
horseradish.
story. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it has one thing to do with a horse either. So
No, it was at a place called Obed's and Isaac's, which is in an old late 1800s home that they took over. And in fact, it was two homes that came together that created the kitchen, and the bar was one home, and they joined.
They moved it 6 blocks to get there. It was quite the story about how this happened.
And the horseshoe sandwich is famous in Springfield. So what they do is they take 2 huge toast points, and they
Toast point.
Texas toast. We're
Texas
talking big
toast.
fat bread.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
and then they put 2 either lamb burgers or hamburgers on there. Top it with French fries, and then top it with this really heavy cheese sauce.
So are the fries, once they're covered and they're put in the sandwich and everything's submerged in there.
Oh, wait, there's nothing on the top. They don't put it in the sandwich. It's open
No,
face.
it's open-faced.
Oh, so you eat it with a fork.
Oh,
And
yeah.
a knife.
Wow.
And a huge mouth.
Wow. How many bites did you take?
I took 1. Cozy Dog was great. Talk about Cozy Dog, because that was yours.
It was, well, one, it was exciting because that was the first time I got to do an actual interview. So I was on cloud 9.
And last, or no?
I hope not. Don't say that. No, Lois is like, do you mind if Emmy goes and does this? You're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. Send her back there.
He was so in the car by then.
Well, that's because of schedule. We can talk about that later, but go ahead.
Yes. Well, this is where the corn dog was really invented. And it was the owners.
Well, see, this is the hang up, right? I don't know if it's the corn dog because their batter is different. It's not like corn mealy.
What is it?
If you remember.
Right, but they're the ones who decided to put it on a stick.
Right.
Right?
Oh, right.
And that's really what makes the difference. Because
And they made those, the cooking utensil, or the cooking
the three-pronged.
implement. Yeah,
Get them right in there.
it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was wrong.
It was
No, it's delicious.
No, I realize that, but still.
And then the homemade cheese sauce.
And I love, because I watched it. I just watched this episode. And you were like, hey, where are the fries?
Oh yeah, he tried jipping us.
He did not.
No, he did not.
She
But
was
I was
already,
like,
hey,
not.
come on, more fries, please.
Yeah, I was
'Cause
not
we had
walking out of
eaten all
that
one.
kitchen without the fries. All right, where's my corn dogs, Josh?
Coming up right here, fresh right out of the fryer.
Oh wait, you forgot my fries.
I mean, I got you.
All right, that's perfect. John is gonna love this
What is this?
white cheese sauce
White
that
cheese
they
sauce.
make right here.
Okay. Ooh, cheese. Ooh, it's a commitment. Go.
The cheese sauce.
Can I double dip?
Yes,
I'm double dipping.
that's so good. I love to eat. I really do.
And then
Food is
John
like a
didn't
love
eat for
language.
3 days after that.
After that, two bites of that.
And the horseshoe.
Cozy Dog did not make me feel cozy. It's a pretty city too.
It is.
The governor's mansion, 16 rooms. They have a 7-room. I love that they have a 7-room apartment for the governor and his wife and their kids, which leaves 9 rooms that I thought maybe they should have taken care of us. To
Right.
stay in the governor's mansion,
Right.
but they of course didn't. But it's gorgeous right downtown in the neighborhood. Do you remember the neighborhood name?
Oh, I don't remember the name. It was just a historic district, wasn't it?
No,
I don't know. Every city has a historic district, so I think maybe that's ingrained in my head, but I don't recall the
thought
name of
maybe
the
not.
neighborhood. But it's a beautiful building. I'm glad they didn't. I mean, it's not really used for the governor anymore. Does he stay there when he comes to town? Because
I've
he
always
doesn't
wondered.
come to town.
Right, I've
Why
always
doesn't he
wondered
come
that.
to town?
He doesn't live there. He doesn't live in Springfield.
That's where all the state government is. Why isn't he there?
I think he's in Chicago, which is why he wasn't also on the show.
Oh.
I could be totally lying, but this is what I heard.
I think governors live in the capitals. They do.
They sleep
Not when
there on
it's
their couch.
Springfield and you have Chicago up the road.
Don't they live in the capitals?
I don't know.
I think they do.
I think the
This
mansion
is
is
how
like
much
for
we
show.
know.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Anything surprising to anybody?
Remember our long drive out of town to shoot the old brick road that was like the
Route
old Route
66.
66? Do you say route or route? I say route.
Route. Or route.
Route 66. I say route.
I say route.
Where are you from?
It's just, you can tell a lot by somebody how they pronounce it.
So we start talking about route or route,
Route.
Yeah.
66.
Yes.
And as we're going through the content, and Emmy says, what is that?
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my only knowledge was Lightning McQueen and like the Cars movies because
Right.
that's in
Right.
the stage of life I am in.
Right.
Everything Disney. That's
I was
it.
like, "Where's Radiator Springs? I don't see Sally. I don't see anybody here."
You
But
say
Route
that in the show,
66
and
is
I had
like-
to Google Radiator Springs, just so you know.
You did. You had to
I
Google
had
it.
no
See, that's
idea.
how different your lives are.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So let's explain a little how this season is different from our last two in terms of crew and how the schedule works.
So you guys, you and the photographer, who is a new photographer this year, Brian, how do you say his last name?
Minton.
I always say Mittens.
Right, which is why he loves you so.
It's Minton.
Minton.
Brian Minton, who is really a well-known and respected photographer in Milwaukee. And when we got
Videographer.
him, videographer.
Yeah, so we know. It's
we,
not stills.
we were so happy that we got him. So,
But what's different is season 1 and 2, I had 6 people in the crew. If you guys remember, I had a B-roll photographer, Bob, who came with us, and my content producer on the episode, because different people help make this show. It's not just us, right? So, not just you. So, they would come in the field, and then we'd have 6 of us,
Right.
which I could send them, okay, go pick up this shot, and then follow after us, so you make sure you get the machines. We're down to a 4-person crew. We're trying to be very efficient.
Right.
And we're down to a 4-person crew. So me and Brian go out the first day and
Tuesday morning.
Yep, all the stuff that you guys don't have to be there for. It's all called B-roll, all those scene setters, all those beautiful shots. He flies a drone. We shoot the people downtown walking, beautiful sunsets. We do that for an entire day. And then on what we call day 2, John and Gail is the audio engineer, Gail and John show up.
Then the next morning we get up and 7:30, 7:45, we meet in the lobby.
Those are good days. It depends on the producer. Some producers made us get up at 6 a.m., remember?
6 a.m.
Which is nothing for you, which is so interesting because you can say, oh, I'm a morning person, and for some that's up at 6 o'clock. John is a morning person to a whole nother level.
You're right.
By 4:30 in the morning, he's up and awake and ready to go, which is so incredible, which is why it makes sense at 4:30 or 5, you're like,
You're
I'm
ordering
done.
dinner and I'm going to bed.
Right, right. So
It's true.
know that about
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
John.
Yeah. So we shoot all day. Then my second day is Lois's third day, and we shoot all day till 6 o'clock. So let's say 8 to 6.
And that's heavy
6:30.
interviews.
That's
Heavy interviews.
4 interviews and whatever stand-ups we didn't do. So now we've been there. We've shot most of the day on my first day, Lois's second. All my second day, Lois's third, and then you show up for the final day, and we get going at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's all the stuff that we do together. And once we're done with the stuff we do together, I can get back in that crew van by myself this time and go home. So that's usually, I would say noon. Let's just say noon. I'm done on that, on my third day. Lois is fourth, you're first.
That's right, first and last, all on the
And
same
Emmy's
day.
like, well, hello, everybody. I'm like, shut up, let's go.
It never fails. No matter how much I study my cards, my handwritten index cards that John makes fun of me for, he'll see me in the lobby, and right after good morning, he'll start in with his first line.
Come on, let's go, let's
to
rehearse.
practice this. And every time I'm dumbfounded, and I'm like, crap. And I know he looks at me like, you have such a small portion.
Isn't this why you came here?
Right. And I'm like, oh yeah, hold on, let me get my cards. Every time, I'm like, oh good, what's my line?
John also didn't just leave 3 children and a household that he had to run. So you have a little more in your brain, don't you think? Oh no, I didn't mean to insult you. Oh dear. John's getting up and walking out. Oh no.
Come on. I had to vacuum before I left. I've got responsibilities at home.
Hey, if you ever want to take
No, you're
those
good. You're
3
good.
children for just a little day to understand,
Emmy, I'm gonna tell you a secret. John doesn't even have house plants. Okay?
right?
Nothing.
And you love
Steve
dogs.
does.
You love dogs.
My partner Steve has plants, and he'll be like, oh, I'm like, oh, where'd that come from? We've had it a year.
Does he ever put you on watering duty or no?
Never.
No.
No, I don't do
Yeah.
that. I'm busy.
Right?
2.5 days.
No.
Right.
I've got to tell you, Fridays of the week we're filming are my favorite days. It really is, because I say this to Lois all the time. Me going to work is so much less work than taking care of the kids, getting dinner ready, making sure we're doing laundry, the tornado of the mess that those
Yes.
children leave behind, doesn't magically get cleaned up. It's so I mean, now
So
you know why
you're-
I am so happy when I
You
show up.
You are happy pappy when you get in there. Look at her. She's the happiest.
The next shoot, I'm gonna show up to Waukesha and I'm just gonna be so damn ticked off.
Don't be ticked off. Just be what you call me, salty.
Oh, salty and punchy.
Yes.
Which is two different things.
Would you go back to Springfield?
Absolutely. I'm gonna take our kids. I'm gonna do a Lois trip. I'm gonna do a family
you'll take
trip
your kids there
for sure.
Yeah, and
Well, make
will
sure
you
when
go
you
back?
go, you go to the museum
You
because
have
that
to.
was so awesome. You weren't there the day we went, Emmy, but
What did I miss?
oh, it is so Smithsonian quality and beautifully done, and the attractions that are there. The woman who is the executive director, Christina, is a delight.
So it's the Abraham Lincoln Historical Museum and Library. We didn't
Yeah.
make it to the library when we went to the museum, and we had a tour from her, the executive director, and it was really it was terrific.
My favorite line from the episode was actually hers when you said to her, you know, do you like coming to work? And she said, I get to work and look at the actual Gettysburg Address every day written in Lincoln's hand. Can you have a better day than that? And of course, I'm thinking, well, yeah, after 3 days, isn't it kind of like, oh, there's that old thing again, right? She's like, nope, every day. It was absolutely amazing.
Oh, see, she found her dream.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So this will make for a lovely family trip. It would make for a great couples trip. It just makes for a great weekend to just explore on your own if you want. All the
And
history.
there's also a great African American historical museum there as
Yeah,
well.
because you have to go to Oak Ridge Cemetery anyways.
And we didn't get there because
I did.
Catherine Harris, who is from there, invited us to her house to make spoon bread because she has a big collection of soul food cookbooks. And I lived in Atlanta for a while and I was familiar with spoon bread. So she made spoon bread. And can I tell you just one thing? Which behind the scenes. So I call it TV food. So you prepare it so that when we make it, then you just pull the TV food that you've made already out of the oven. But Evan, who produced this episode, forgot to tell her that. So we got there and she made it and she said, okay, now we're gonna set the oven for 40 minutes. I'm like, what? We sat there for 40 minutes.
Oh, come on. We didn't just sit there. She was lovely. She had stories to tell and things to show you, other cookbooks to look.
Let's be real here.
Okay, you are just so impatient.
I'm not impatient. We got stuff to do. Sitting by her oven, waiting for and it was like, don't look at the oven because it won't cook fast. And then she was like, oh, 40 minutes. She was like, not quite done. I'll eat it raw.
So true.
Well, and you're in someone's house. It's not like you can just say, oh, I'm just going to run to the coffee shop and grab a cup of coffee and I'll be back. I mean,
no.
you're in it.
You're in her home.
Right.
Oh, Lord. It was good spoon bread, though.
Right.
And worth the wait, right?
And it was worth the wait.
It was.
And she was great.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Yeah. We're doing something new this season. We're doing fan shout-outs. These are people who are active on our social media. So, okay, drum roll, please. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, good for
You
you.
brought your drum, Emmy. I love
That's
that.
right.
This week, it's Kathy Siganiak. Cyganiak from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Kathy, thanks for following us. And that's our shout-out. Love the new piece, huh?
Yes, I do love it. And really the reason why you do all those little behind the scene extras, because there are so many great valuable pieces of video that you shoot extra in all of these communities that really will never make the show. So we thank you for following along because you're going to see lots of good stuff.
It's episode 1. It's season 3. We're back. John McGivern's Main Streets. Good talking to you guys. It was fun, wasn't it?
It sure was.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.
Want to wear something that's going to support your favorite show? Shop at Main Street Store. Proceeds go to help us get next season into production. So come on, go shopping at mainstreets.tv.